Okay, Ghislaine Maxwell, folks. While I was joking around about while I was joking around about how conservatives might take the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff, it turns out they weren't joking. Okay, here's Margarine Titan Greed. Ghislaine Maxwell says President Trump was never inappropriate with anyone and was a perfect gentleman in all respects. I'll say it again. The Democrats tried to put President Trump in jail for the rest of his life, destroy his business, and take his wealth. And multiple assassins tried to kill him. They were all fucking Republican, but that's besides the point. Some of which had voted for Donald Trump and some were registered Republicans. But we're not going to get into that. If there had ever been any evidence against Donald Trump in any of the Epstein case files, the Democrats, the demon rats, would have used it against him long ago. President Trump has been vindicated once again. To which I responded with, the serial perjurer, convicted sex trafficker of children said the president, who can grant her freedom, is an upstanding gentleman to the president's personal attorney. The idea that Ghislaine Maxwell gains nothing from exonerating Trump is so fucking stupid that I would even expect Marjorie Taylor Greene's dumbass MAGA cultist audience to be like, this doesn't make a lot of sense here. You know, she is profoundly stupid. This is like when I used to start hyping on my teacher to get out of detention. Man, you're such a good teacher. You do so much for all of us, and I think you deserve to be Principal Lamau. Who amongst us has not been in a situation where someone who has a tremendous power over us had the opportunity to grant us freedom, and we just kind of fucking played ball? You know, you do that. That's a thing you do. It's not like, who the fuck looks at this situation and goes, well, she said it. Like, even if she wasn't, I'm going to be honest, even if she wasn't a serial perjurer and also a notorious sex trafficker of minors, and she was like doing some other crimes, right? Even if she was like, I don't know, engaging in not the crimes that we know her for, but instead like, I don't know, tax evasion, and the president had the opportunity to grant her a pardon, of course I would be like, clearly she's lying. But even if the only thing she was in jail for was tax evasion, right? And she was still connected to Epstein somehow. And she was like, yeah, I think Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had no real relationship. And Donald Trump is a really nice guy. I would still not believe her. Why the fuck would I believe her? She's, you know, she has every reason to lie here, to play ball.
20 years for helping her former lover, Jeffrey Epstein, traffic underage girls. Now Ghislaine Maxwell is...
Also, in the deposition, she keeps referring to her boyfriend, on-again, off-again boyfriend, / notorious serial criminal sex trafficker pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, who she raped minors with, literally convicted of this, okay, as Epstein. By his last name, like this is a random stranger. I covered this yesterday, but it's like, oh, who's this Epstein fellow, you say? Oh, the New York financier? I would not know. I don't know him. I don't know him at all. I've never known him, as a matter of fact. Who is this Epstein fellow? Jeffrey who? Doesn't... Name doesn't ring a bell.
Fighting to get out of jail. Last month, she talked to Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's former defense lawyer. He's now America's Deputy Attorney General, and she told him what he definitely wants to hear, that she never saw the president involved in anything improper or illegal. And Blanche has now...
No, she wasn't convicted of perjury. She was charged with perjury, but they dropped it because she was already convicted of the much more severe crimes, which she was unironically perjuring herself on. But not only was she charged with perjury, but they dropped it because like she was already going to fucking perma jail. She's also notoriously since, from prison, lied every time someone has interviewed her about shit that we already know is not, things that we already know she did or others did, she has lied at the behest of. That's what's so crazy about it. Like, People have interviewed her from prison, and she's been like, yeah, Prince Andrew didn't do anything at all. Like, so she was already protecting other people on the list that we know are on the list. So it's not even shocking to me that she like went as far as defending Bill Clinton here, and consistently defending Prince Andrew, saying, oh, the photos of Prince Andrew and one of the most notorious victims is fake.
Now released the audio of their 9-hour conversation.
I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
Last month, Mr. Trump said pardoning Maxwell hadn't crossed his mind.
I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about. But you wouldn't rule it out.
But Mr. Trump's critics believe he's trying to bury the extent of this old friendship, while Maxwell could be emulating world leaders by flattering the president to win him over.
President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me, and I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now, and I like him, and I've always liked him.
Days after her interview, Maxwell was transferred to this lower security prison in Texas with no explanation, and lawyers for her and Epstein's victims fear presidential politics are swaying criminal justice.
It's very unusual for a deputy attorney general to be meeting with a criminal defendant individually, much less one who is still on appeal. She's still appealing her conviction to the Supreme Court. So I'm not certain why the meeting was held or what they were looking for, but the concern is that once again, there's going to be an uneven level of justice being administered.
Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in this prison in 2019. Ghislaine Maxwell says she doesn't believe he was deliberately killed to silence him, but nor does she believe the official verdict that he took his own life.
I do not believe he died by suicide. In prison, where I am, they will kill you, or somebody can pay a prisoner to kill you for $25 worth of commissary is about the going rate for a hit with a lock today.
Maxwell denies visiting Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's Florida resort, to recruit 16-year-old Virginia Giuffre. She's always said this photo of Giuffre, apparently with Prince Andrew, is a fake, as is the allegation that she was forced to have sex with the prince in Maxwell's London home.
Prince Andrew, the idea of him doing anything of that nature in my house that's the size of this room is so mind-blowingly not conceivable to me.
It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax.
Yesterday, America's president
yeah, I guess, sorry, nothing we can do. Got to take the word of notorious sex trafficker of minors and rapist of minors, Ghislaine Maxwell. Sorry.